Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And it is, yes, Ralf Rangnick. Will he be given the opportunity to take this job permanent? Well, find out what the panel all think. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And it is Solo, Mr. B, OMONDI, and welcome back, Jay. How are we all doing today?
Oh, great. Oh, good Solo, man.
Solo, you're a legend.
Oh, God. I am absolutely late as well. I am late. I apologize for being very late, guys. Not normally, but, you know, always time to be late. You can never be on time for everything. So, as always, guys, how are we all doing today? How are we feeling? Mr.
Good,
B.
man. I'm good, man. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. The weekend's coming. I don't have work at the weekend, so I'm just waiting 24 hours to count down, and then I'm a free man for 48 hours.
On Monday?
I've got no wheels at the moment. I've got to get to work somehow tomorrow without my car. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I just want the football to come back. I can't believe it's a break. How long we got? Another 2 weeks or something?
Yeah. No, fourth, man. We've got another couple 8 days, man. Don't watch that.
8 days. Okay. All right. Cool.
Awesome, and Jay, how are you doing? So welcome back. It's been
I'm all right, man. It's good to see you all again. And I love on this channel how the madness starts straight away. We were waiting for you, and then you were late, and then you gave us this massive explanation about why you were late. And I was like, Mr. B's like, just get on with it, man.
Oh, yeah, like I said, yeah, the explanation was a bit backward, but at the same time, yeah.
It's all right, man. It's a soloism. Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
Oh God, guys, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, and subscribe as well button. And as always, it's the Man United Agenda, and it's almost car crash all the time we come on the channel, really, isn't it?
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's how we do, guys. We do. But okay, so guys, let's kickstart now. There's loads of rumors, gossips flying around, and we've got Ralf Rangnick at the moment. Stories are coming out now, rumored that there's a possibility he might be the man who to take charge of Manchester United. Now, let's start off with probably on Monday to kickstart it. Monday with it, or Rangnick coming in. Obviously, we know it was a temp as a manager coming in. He meant to be going upstairs. What's this all twist now going through? Is this the club trying to save money, or can you see Ralf actually progressing as a manager at the club?
He's proved he's got credibility as far as I'm concerned. We've only had 10 games, but we've got like 5 clean sheets, and that's something we were begging for prior to that. I like him as a manager. I know there's a big question mark about whether people are happy with his style of play or all the outburst about players done being unhappy and that. But I just think that's what happens when the new manager comes in, like a troubleshooter, and gets rid of all the rubbish, you know. And I think that's what he's doing. And I think he's doing such a good job that maybe he should be considered. The question must be asked now: can he take over beyond the summer? Originally it was supposed to be he's going upstairs, but it shows the man can manage all levels of the club. And that's what I'm saying. He's a proper club man. He knows how to manage all sectors of the club, even down to coach, and he's doing a great job at that as well. So I'm down with Ralf. I think everyone should get behind him. I really think we've had so many shows recently, and we've seen the form. We cover all the games, and we're seeing slight improvements. I think, yeah, I'm seeing some improvements. I'm saying that because I know some people do disagree with me about the squad, and he's getting rid of players like Martial's gone, for example, and people say, "Oh my God, shock horror!" But I think we've got enough to meet our expectations, which is really come in and get top 4, and then you can start considering him for the job if no one else is available. So I'm down with it. If he stays as manager, I'm cool.
Yeah, Mr. B.
I'll be quite happy if he's manager. I like somebody who's got discipline. I like the fact that he looks like he doesn't suffer fools gladly. The fact that he's come in, he talks the truth in press conferences. Well, what I perceive to be the truth anyway. I think that's why the press get away with asking the questions that they're asking, because they know that he's going to give them a proper answer. The fact that he's dropping players in regards to if their form's not good, you're not playing. Regardless of who you are, means that these players now need to step up because there's competition. I like the fact that he's come in, he's had a look at what we need. Obviously, we knew what we needed a couple of years ago, let's be honest, but he's come in early and he's got players who we thought, or probably some of us still think aren't good enough. He's got them playing an extra 20%. Maybe that 20% is not good enough for the level that we want, but they've increased their work output. So don't make it too rash, but at the moment, I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. A quick one as well. Talk, thanks for the super chat. There will be only one solo. Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure. So there's been quite obviously with Ralf, and like you said, it's what 10 games he's played so far. A lot of people sitting there getting too carried away in the saying, oh, he has other fans are saying basically with him, he hasn't really proven himself. He hasn't really done too much whatsoever with it. Is there sort of a chance where some people are buying into it? And like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he first started off, he had a really good record. I think he got 24, 27 points in his first 10 games or something like that. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, he got
something like, I think it was like 12 wins out of 14 or something in his first, when he was caretaker.
Yeah. So is it something that the club haven't learned, or is it something that we bring in the interim manager and he does well, and all of a sudden, rather than going out and actually splashing the cash and bringing the actual manager, we've taken a shortcut and just given it to Ralf? I know he's done wonders, but I'm worried, is it going to be a case of same old, where we give him a contract and the issue starts again?
I mean, I just feel like a lot of this kind of makes sense, right? For starters, the sort of story is, and I saw this story, is that United are open to the idea of him becoming permanent manager, which doesn't surprise me because let's face facts. If he was to win, for example, the FA Cup and the Champions League and get us a third in the league, I know that's a big if, but then United would probably go, okay, yeah, he's the manager and we're going to make him a permanent manager. I understand they're open to the idea or whatever, that they're considering, but there's other people on that shortlist. So it doesn't surprise me he's a sort of, his name's in the ring or whatever, or his hat's in the ring, sorry. But I still think, for me, what makes the most sense is what the plan is for him to go into consultancy role, oversee the footballing side of things. A manager comes in who he has a say in appointing, and he works with them, hopefully, in a sort of Kyrgyzstan type scenario with Pep or whatever, something like that. I also feel like, when we talk about the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scenario, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't get the job because he won back-to-back titles at Molde. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the job at United because he came in as caretaker, because he was a safe pair of hands, and he absolutely smashed it for the first 3 months. And he got that run that was broke records. We were broke records in the amount of away games we won on the spin. We went from being completely out of the top 4 race to being in the top 4 briefly. He then did what no one else had ever done in the Champions League, losing 2-0 away, 2-0 at home and turning the deficit around. So everyone was like, oh my gosh, give the guy a job. But then United did a really strange thing with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We waited until he got knocked out of the FA Cup and been beaten off Arsenal to drop out of the top 4. And then we appointed him permanently, which was the only sort of odd thing about the Solskjaer appointment. But I think if that sort of anything, I'm not saying we shouldn't have appointed Ole, because I think regardless of how it ended, I think he did, there was a lot of positives. But it should teach us, just wait until the end of the season and then take stock and then go, okay, what have we achieved? What has this caretaker manager achieved? Has he moved the club forward? Is the club in a position where you go, okay, he's the man to continue this progression? Or is it a case of now is the time to bring someone in? So sitting here right now, you said he'd done wonders solo, and I know that might just be a phrase. I'll slightly disagree. I think he's done okay. I think that we've had, if you look at those games on paper, I think, yes, we've had some positive results. We have, I think, is it 5 wins, 2 draws and a loss or whatever, which is, it's good. But I expected us to win most of those games. We haven't played City, Liverpool, Chelsea. The biggest game we've had was Arsenal, and Carrick was the manager for that. So I think Rangnick's done well. I just think wait until the end of the season and see where we're at. And if at the end of the season he's given us untold riches, then you can make that decision. If at the end of the season we've scraped 4th dropped out the FA Cup and been knocked out of the Champions League by Atletico, then you probably go, okay, he's done all right, but let's bring in someone else. I just feel now is too soon to start making those decisions.
You know, hold on a minute. I think Jay's raised one here.
Hold on a minute.
He said,
hold on.
Jay said, if we win the FA Cup, Champions League, and get top 4, then he might consider
top three, top 3, I said.
Top 3, oh yeah, that was it, top 3. I think, wow, that's high expectations. People forget where we're coming from. We were losing 5-0. We saw you.
I'm not saying that's like he has to do that. I mean, I'm using that as a like exaggerating a point to make a point. I'm saying like if he did that, obviously you're gonna go, he's the man forever. Do you know what I mean? You're not gonna go, oh, let's bring in Pochettino or whatever. I'm just saying, I think you need to take stock.
Jay, you said about Solskjaer had a good run. He was doing okay, record breaking away thing initially, and it was going well in the Paris. Was it the Paris game you're talking about?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so these things, but it's a different kind of change we're seeing. And I'm not going to say he's doing wonders, but can you see progression? Have you sort of broken it down? I mean, people on your show, have they sort of gone through the tactical side, what we're seeing here, the differences, why it's going to take longer to come through? And do you see a long-term goal here with Ralf? Rather than excitement of Ollie, say, breaking records, whatever.
You make a good point, and I think that the thing with Ollie is and I'll give Ollie credit for this. I don't want to say this as a negative or as a criticism of him. But what Ollie did was when he came in, he did something that seemed fairly simple, but Jose didn't do it, so give him credit. He came in and he basically had Matic, Herrera, and Pogba as his 3. And told Pogba, don't worry about the donkey work and all the defending. Just get forward. And if you remember that run, Pogba was just getting forward constantly. And he sort of made Pogba his main man. Pogba was taking free kicks and penalties and bombing forward and scoring goals. And it works. And he didn't change a lot. That was the system that he sort of stuck to for that run. And obviously, Pogba got suspended for Paris, so he had to change it a little bit. Because remember, we started that away leg with 3 at the back. And Eric Bailly was having a stinker. Eric Bailly and Ashley Young were all over the gaff. And he went to a flat back 4. And we got the result as well. So, but other than the Paris game, by and large, he didn't change a lot. He found a system and it worked, and he stuck with it. Matic, Herrera, and Pogba were fantastic as a midfield 3 for those 12 games or whatever it was. They really were. And then when injuries happened and players got suspended and certain players were missing, it began to fall away a little bit. And if you remember, once we made him permanent manager to the end of the season, our run was almost the polar opposite of that first one. We dropped loads of points, we lost loads of games, and we dropped out of the top 4. And I think we finished 6th. So Ollie's was slightly different. Ralf has come in, and what he said was, or what he did was this 4-2-2-2 formation. Did he? That was his thing, and he's already changed it. He's already said it's not really working. Players are struggling to adapt to it, and he hasn't got the luxury of, like Klopp did, I'll give this a couple of years, and the players are going to get used to it, and then we'll kick on from there. Or even a Pep who had one season where he didn't win anything, finished 3rd or whatever, and then the next season they won the Premier League. Rangnick's got 5 months or 6 months, whatever, and what he said is, this isn't working, I'm going to change it. So I respect him for that, and I think he has done some good things, and I can see the little changes he's made and the positive things that are happening as well, and just little things like, Alanga, for example, giving him a chance. He's put his money where his mouth is. If you perform in training, you get a chance. Alanga performs in training. He's in the team. Dropping Marcus, that's a big call, that. Marcus scored 21 goals last season, 22 goals the season before, and you've dropped him for a kid who's barely kicked a ball for Manchester United. And to be fair, it works. Big calls like taking off Ronaldo. I know Ronaldo spat his dummy out, but it's a big call, so he's not afraid to make these big calls and these big decisions. And I know he'll have upset you the other week, Solo taking off Fred. I know you would have been fuming at that one against West Ham. Yeah, I know Fred would have been like, this guy, man, get him out of here. He's lost the plot. You don't take off Fred when you're trying to get a win. What's the matter with this guy? I heard that Solo didn't even celebrate Marcus's last-minute winner. I heard Solo was like,
oh, God. Oh, you know what? Oh, my days.
This doesn't count. If Fred's not on the pitch, I'm not even celebrating. I hope it's offside. VAR, it should be offside. Ridiculous. So he makes these calls and he makes these changes, and he's not afraid to make the big ones. And I respect him for that, because I think by and large they're working.
Oh, brilliant. And Mr. Beek. You know what? I had a banner up as well. Free Fred. Bring him back on. Mr. B, obviously, with this whole interim and whether or not we look at we can compare Solskjaer record to say what Rangnick's doing now, and is it probably too early? And also with it, the big calls he's been making lately as well, because like what Jay said, he's been making some bold calls compared to under Solskjaer. But like I said, with Solskjaer, I'm not going to criticize him either. He's a legend, always will be a legend at United. But some of the decisions he made, I didn't really agree with. So do you actually believe Rangnick is pulling the string now, Old Trafford, to say, well, you're not performing, you're not doing this, you're not doing that right in training, and yeah, pulling them apart, really?
Yeah, I do. I think he's silently going about his business. I'm not sure he had the authority to control maybe the higher level players, the players with the bigger egos. But I think as time's gone on, they've probably realised, okay, he is adaptable in regards to changing the formation that he preached he was going to come in and do. He went to the preferred 4-2-3-1, which they played under Ollie, and it didn't seem to work. For whatever reason, the 4-3-3s clicked. Maybe they are happy. Obviously, every walk of life, there's going to be arguments, disagreements, people who like this person, people who... But as long as it stays quiet, which it seems to be, all right, we ain't played no games and the transfer window hasn't quite closed yet, but it just seems to be a little bit calmer. So, yeah, he's got the power, he's got the authority, and I think he's earning the respect. Mostly, he's earning the respect of all of the players, not just the younger ones. I said, as Jay was saying, the Elanga situation, it's good, and players always need a kick up the backside. So, long may it continue in temporary until the end of the season.
And reading some of going through some of these comments, where I'm going to get Amanda to go through quickly. There is a lot of divides between it. A lot of people are saying, obviously, is too early for him to become the manager, and then you also got people to say that he's been bold, and that's what managers Manchester United want in the club as well. If you're watching for the first time, please subscribe. If you subscribe to the channel, just give us a like, please. And let's go with Omonde.
Yeah, man. Big up everyone. Type it in frantically. We want to say hi to Matteo all the way from Miami. Yeah,
Big up, Matteo.
We had a wicked show the other day, night of Jura. Big up to Niall as well. How you doing? Yeah, big up. Just say hi to Maisie. She says, I believe you should go upstairs, talking about Ralf. However, you never know how the next manager could be. Yes. See, it's question mark. People starting to... I like the process is for him to go upstairs, but yeah, we just don't know what's going to happen, do we? Because he's doing well. True. If the plan at the start was him to go upstairs and clean up the crap fest, all right, Rebel, that Woodward left us, then we need to stay on course with that. So yeah, getting the feeling now you should go along with that. Hi, Mr. Burke. He says, do you reckon United are haggling over Lingard because of the Longstaff fiasco? I don't know what's...
We are going to go into that as well. Go on, Jay, go on, because we will go into it a bit.
I don't think it's that. I think that if anyone doesn't know, a bit of context is, Lingard looked like well, Newcastle are in for him. United have said if you want him, you're going to have to pay us a bonus if you stay up. I think it's a 12 million bonus, so it'll end up costing them around 15 million quid. Newcastle are saying that's too excessive. The lad, Amrit Verk's asking, is that because of the Longstaff fiasco? Now, in terms of the Longstaff fiasco, Longstaff was quoted. United were in for Sean Longstaff a few seasons ago, and the quote from Newcastle, I think, was 50 million, which was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember.
But I don't think that is the reason. I think if Newcastle are going to run around sort of shouting about how much money they've got, don't be surprised if clubs say to you, okay, well, you've got all this money. If you want a player for us, and that player is going to help you stay in the Premier League, and don't forget, if they stay in the Premier League, which is what ultimately what they want Lingard to do, that's going to save them and be beneficial to them in terms of hundreds of millions of pounds. If they go down, I know they've got all this money, they go into this championship, their project is going to be delayed by at least 2 or 3 years because they've got to get back into the Premier League, then they've got to attract all these players and all that other stuff. So even though I'm, anyone who knows me, I think our club is a shambles the way it's run, and I think the owners are parasitic. But I think on this point, even though I want Jesse to get his move because I think he deserves it, he's not going to get a game at United. I understand where United are coming from to say, listen, if you want him, if he keeps you in the Premier League, you've got to pay us the money that you've got.
Okay, brilliant. So big up Tyrone Williams. He says, Rangnick
Amanda, go back there. Sorry, Amanda, go back. There was a comment there. Someone just made a nice little comment to us.
Who? That's it.
Thank
Big
you.
up Crafty Skills.
Big up.
Is that from football or rapping? What's that? Never seen his channel. He says, yes. Big up, man. Thanks for
Welcome.
joining
Welcome.
in. Going back to Tyrone. Tyrone says, Rangnick is doing well right now, but United should stick to the plan. Okay, so everyone's saying he can have a bigger impact as director. This man hasn't won big trophies, and we should remember that. Yeah, so big up all you guys in the comments.
And then we talk about potentially, when I heard about him, I didn't really know too much about him, but what I was listening to journalists talking about Ahmed, how great this player was going to be, how wonderful, how better than Jadon Sancho he would be or should potentially be. We got him, and then he's gone on. He's made 2-3 days. He played 3 games for us, and now he's out on loan. Jay, what do you make of this? And is it a case of just getting him game time, or is there no future for him at Old Trafford?
Right, the thing with Diallo, we had Fabrizio Romano on the channel, and he said he was impressed with the fact that United had got him, because he said Romano's based in Italy, and he was saying that he spoke to Atalanta players and they were raving about Diallo, saying this kid's amazing, and he thought Juventus were going to come in for him, and obviously United got in there first and got him. Sort of pretty much not a panic buy. That sounds ridiculous for a 17-year-old kid, but getting in there before anyone else does. Like, we get him in now before Juve or whoever comes in for him, we'll get him. The only thing that I felt strange about this signing was this came at a time in that summer, if you remember, where we signed Facundo Palestre, we signed Donny van der Beek, we signed Alex Telles, and we signed Edinson Cavani. Now, only Edinson Cavani, and until recently Alex Telles, really became, well, Alex Telles never did, but only Edinson Cavani really featured a lot for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And at a time when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably needed a midfielder, he needed someone. We spent all this money on players that were for the future, which, okay, I get it, because you should always be looking for the future. But the sad thing is, if you will, that didn't help Ole. Ole lost his job. And I feel that summer, all those future signings, if we'd have spent some of that money on I'll use it as an example. I'm not saying him, but Thomas Partey was available for 50 million quid. Someone like that, yeah? I know he went to Arsenal, but I'm not saying him, but him specifically. But someone of that ilk, a defensive midfielder who can come in. We'd have spent some of that money. I think it would have given Ole a better chance of keeping his job. So Diallo, one for the future, yeah. Will he make it? He's a bright young lad. I've been impressed with him for what I've seen of him at Old Trafford. You know, he played a couple of games, didn't he, last season? But you know, we've been here before. It's a big move for him. It's because I think with Rangers, I think the only danger there is if you don't do well there, people start doubting you. Because this isn't if you go to, say, the Premier League and you struggle a little bit, people go, okay, he's only a kid, he's 18, give him a couple of years, whatever. If you go to Scottish football, no respect to Scottish football, Celtic or Rangers, people expect you to start tearing it up. And if you don't, people are going to start looking at you, what? He flops at Rangers and you think he's going to be good enough for Manchester United. So it's a gamble for him, but first team football is what he needs. I just feel like this whole thing with him has been a bit of a gamble from day one. I just hope it's a successful one.
And going to Mr. B, Mr. B, would, like what Jay said, it's about a gamble. Do you think, obviously, before we got Jadon Sancho, do you think it was almost like a risk we're taking? Let's go get him because he's the closest thing to Jadon Sancho, just in case that transfer didn't go over the line.
Well, if that's the case, then we've wasted £40 million. Well, 80 million, including Donny in the same transfer window. So I don't think it made any sense. The fact that he doesn't get any game time is what I don't understand. We were always going to get Jadon Sancho, even out of pride. Even if we didn't want him, pride, we're going to make the club buy Jadon Sancho. So the fact that we've got Ahmad in and we're not using him in a position that maybe we feel he should be playing in, I think it's great that he's gone out on loan. I mean, there's a few other players out on loan as well. My thoughts are, will they be coming back? And will they be benefiting the club? Players like Dylan Levitt at Dundee. Obviously, Axel has gone to Napoli. We've got Williams at Norwich. We've got Pereira at Flamengo. We've got Lade at Swansea. And we've got Garner at Forest. Are any of these players going to come back? I know we're loaning them out. I know some of them are young. But are these loans going to be benefiting us future-wise as a club?
Yeah. Go before I go to Monday. There is 47 in the chat. Can we hit that like, please? And if you're new to the channel, just hit that subscribe button as well. Monday, go into you know, and obviously we're discussing this whole thing with, was it probably a panic buy? Just give us your opinion on it with Ahmed, because again, with you, I know when it comes to probably all of us on the channel, you're the one who praises all the youngsters Manchester United got and what you want to see Man United bringing through all these young players. We spent 18 or so, whatever millions we spent on Ahmed to just put him on loan to Rangers. And it's the same mistake I'm looking at as a Man United fan, seeing if it doesn't work out for him, we're going to end up getting rid of this guy for probably about 8-9 million.
Look, I like him. I've seen him play a few times now. Obviously, you remember the goal he scored against AC Milan, was it?
Yeah.
The header. He's lively. He's got a lot of ability. He's got a really good IQ. Skillful. I don't know if he's rapid, but he's got the skills to match that, to balance that out. You know, I think he gives us a bit of balance because he's left-footed as well. The only thing is people have their time when they're ready. I mean, Lingard, I think he was on loan 4 or 5 times before he actually started getting games for us, you know. Birmingham, I mean, did he score 7? Like, he scored about 4 goals in one game for Birmingham one time, something like that. But I think it's a great move for him. Obviously, he was supposed to go to Birmingham, I think, early in the transfer window. Maybe got injured. I can't remember what happened there. But
Feyenoord, he was going to go to Feyenoord, but he got injured. You're right.
Okay, yeah. So I think this is a great move. Because Scottish football, no matter what you say about it, he should be able to get first team football. They're playing in the Europa League. I think they're playing Dortmund next up, which would be a good game. I think we should all tune in and support him. I think playing in front of Ibrox fans, there's 50,000, 60,000 up there. It's sensational. And I think you got players. Who's the guy from Liverpool that Gerrard brought up there? The winger, Ryan Kent. He's become like a ledge in Scottish football. And would he might just make it in Championship football in England, you know? So it'd be interesting to see how he fares out there. It'd be interesting to see and how he fares for Rangers. And I think there's another guy called Delembe who played for Celtic. He was like a wonder kid for years. He's coming through. He came through the same as Xavi Simmons. He played a tournament against him, and he's always on YouTube years ago. And I followed him. And he's so small, he can't get a game really for Celtic. And he must be reaching 18, 19 now. So I think Ahmad, this is a good opportunity to shine. If he blows up out there, there will be demand from the fans. You know, imagine he does something in Europe on TV and people notice him. There will be demand from the fans. And I just hope there's a project here where we're saying, right, how do we fit Ahmed into the side? What really breaks my heart to this day is watching Lille and seeing Angel Gomez develop. Because I think that was someone we really messed up at. So we need to change that philosophy, as we're doing now under Ralf. Start bringing these youngsters through. And Angel Gomez is killing it in France. He's not getting 100% game time, but he's slowly developing as a player. The season on loan at Portugal and developing as a player. He's small, but he's technical, just like Ahmed as well. And I think if you use these players right, you don't have to look at Man City, the way they work with smaller players. You can do bits. So I would love to see Ahmed, for the money he spent and the talent he's got, really pushed and developed to try to get in the side and maybe fit in. I think he can do a good job going forward in the future. The experience will do him well.
Yeah. So 44 in the live chat. Can we hit that like and subscribe button, please, for us? Obviously, we were going to come on to my guy, Messi, Lingard. Obviously, we spoke a little bit about him already. We know Newcastle obviously has gone in for him. Spurs apparently wanted him at some point as well, but we don't know how true those rumors were. I could see like Lingard going back to probably West Ham. I don't know how you guys feel on Monday, going back to West Ham, if this deal don't go over, because like we said, I don't know. We will ask Jay this question because I heard, but I'm not sure about it. So on Monday, I'll come to you first and then I'll ask Jay this question. So let me give it to Jay first before I forget it. There was rumors regarding Premier League teams didn't want to sell to Newcastle. I don't know. It's just a question I'm going to ask you. So I'll go to on Monday first and then I want to ask you that question.
I think it also looks all speculative. We can only speculate about things like that. But yeah, I'm sure Jay knows a lot more about that than me. I think Jesse Lingard, he's running out his contract. He can decide where he wants to go and where he wants to play his football. Because his next contract is probably going to be a big one. And he can actually be a first-team player wherever he goes and demand that. I think with players now, there's a lot of players. If you look at the list of players running out their contract this year, I think it gives them a lot of advantages now, because now they can get a signing on fee, they can choose the terms, everything else. Nothing to do with the clubs, do with them and their agent approaching people, saying, right, I demand A, B, and C. They can get the best deal for playing time or whatever they need. So Jesse Lingard, great servant to the club. I think he's played 150 odd games for Man United. And I think he's done well, and I think he's a quality player. Anyone who can play for England with this batch of youths and talent we've got at the moment, they've got to be doing something good, and just missed out on the Euros last year. He's a good player. He's a good player. Good work rate, fit as hell, physically fit. You know, yeah, he's really fit. From all I always hear how fit he is, what a great runner he is. And he needs people like that. And you see, I was training last night, and some young guy was up and down, blowing me out, you know. And I just wanted to slow him down, but it's annoying, isn't it? When you got a player that's buzzing. It must be a nightmare to pick up and follow him and mark him. So I like his game. I think he's got a good brain in him. I love his 1-2 touch football. And unfortunately, he's never going to get in. I think he's from time when he's loan, and then you're a squad player. He's never been a first team player for Man U. And he could easily play maybe top half teams in the Premiership and do really well. So good luck to Jesse Lingard. But he's not going to be at Man U next year. No doubt about that.
Shah, I was late. So, no, we didn't text each other. With me and Jay wearing green
Mine's
jumper.
grey. I don't know why it's looking green. It's grey.
Mine is green.
I was like, it's great. It must be the lighting or something. Just quickly, in answer to your question there about Premier
Don't
League.
have an Arsenal logo on the screen. Oh my God,
all
the
that, man?
enemies. That's it. We lost subscribers.
I think like Burnley sold Chris Wood to Newcastle, didn't they? So
yeah, they did. Yeah,
I don't think there's a conspiracy of not selling players to Newcastle. I think that just in United's case, they wanted that relegation escape clause, if you will. I do think it's a little bit. I understand it because Newcastle have got all this money, and I don't want to labour the point because we just spoke about it. But for me, if you sold Jesse Lingard to Newcastle, he's not going to get a game for United. You know, Monday just spoke about how he's he's a fringe player at best. I think he started barely any games this season. I think he started, is it one in the Carabao Cup or something? Maybe one in Europe, something like that. He's not started a lot of games. But I was thinking that if he does go to Newcastle, he's off the wage bill. You're going to get a little bit of money for him. Also as well, and I know this sounds trivial, but Newcastle can't finish in the top four. They're not against us in that top four race, which is one of the reasons we didn't want to let him go with Spurs and West Ham. But Newcastle are going to play against our rivals. They are going to play. They've got games against some of those other top four teams. So him going to Newcastle and helping them beat some other teams that we want to take, we want to finish above, isn't a bad thing. So there's a lot of reasons that move just makes sense. And like Monday just said, in the summer he's going anyway for nothing. So it is a little bit frustrating that they've not moved him on, because I think you do need to start moving some of these players on. But like I said earlier, if Newcastle are going to run around town like waving a credit card about, then people are going to take advantage of it and people are going to want top money for it. And let's face facts, they are ridiculously rich. They've got owners who've got basically unlimited wealth. And people are going to think, well, you know what? If you want our players, you're going to pay for them.
Yeah. You're right with it. It's, for me, I always look at Man United at the moment and the amount of players. We did a show the other day and we were talking about sort of midfield players, what we need at the club. But I always keep stressing we need to clear some of the players, the deadwood first, no disrespect, and bring in new players rather than signing players, new players on deadwood already. Because whatever the deadwood's got in the club, it will obviously rub off on the new players that's coming inside Man United right now. And we obviously want players who want to come in to actually play for the badge, not just playing for money. Not saying all players are playing for the money, but we want players, blood, sweat, and tears, to be honest with you. On Monday, quickly, 49 in the chat. Would you guys mind hitting a like and a subscribe button if you're new to the channel? And on Monday, if we go through a few comments where we can use a Q&A now.
Yeah, Rebel saying Jay's talking sense to hold the horses.
I love these phrases from Rebel.
I'll say hi to Saragon as well. He said Lou Van Gaal may have had boring football, but he set up Jose and Ole's successes and surfed the wave. Yeah, he's trying to say set up with. I liked his style. I thought Louis was good. I thought Louis was a great manager. Box says, hi, how you doing, Box says? Box is a genius, isn't he? He knows everything. Box says Jones would be a Rodri Fernandinho hybrid. Talking about Phil Jones.
Yes, man, Phil Jones.
Is this the thing again where we talk about Phil Jones in midfield?
Yes. Jay,
want to say hi to...
let's keep these guys quiet. Phil Jones in midfield. Would you play Phil Jones last scenario? Come on.
Duncan Ferguson,
Right.
Not Duncan Edwards.
Like, he's been here for what, 10 years? And 10 years into his time here, after he's not played for 2 years other than one game against Wolves, you now want to try him in midfield? Not for me. I mean, I know he played there briefly a few years ago, but I just think that's too big an ask. It's arguably the most important position on the pitch, and you're going to stick someone in there who's played one game in 2 years, who's a defender really in it. I think like it's a nice idea, but I think we should save experimenting with the team for friendlies in pre-season, not in Champions League or Premier League games that we need to win. So
yeah,
no, not for me. I know Fred's not that good, but he's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fred,
yeah.
Come on, no. Fred is a world-class
I was
Bradford
fishing
player.
there, Errol. I was fishing for you there.
Come on,
I was waiting for you to jump in and what you on about? He's not that good. He's amazing. And you just sat there and you went, yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming. Come on, guys, man. Fred, I think he's probably one of the most improved player under Ralf at the moment. Jason,
I'm not hating on him, yeah.
But guys,
I love the way that sentence made it progressively worse. You went, Fred's one of the most improved players under Ralf at the moment.
So he is because with me, I look at Diallo, I look at Tellez, I look at Fred, I look at Scott. They are probably the most improved ones.
I think. Listen, Amanda was asking, about tactically what Ralph's done and stuff like that earlier. And I think if you look at terms of player development improvement, we've seen improvements. Diallo, Tellez, you think you're right. McTominay's having a better spell than he was having earlier on in the season. We have seen improvements. He's given faith in Elanga. There's been improvements there where you can say, okay, we've seen players. I don't know if that's necessarily them improving as such or finding their form in case of some of them, because I think, we've seen these little glimpses from McTominay earlier in the season, but not consistently. I think he'd been poor at the beginning of the season, very poor. Whereas I think Burnley in particular had a very good game, did okay in the second half against West Ham for spells. So it's a bit much to go. He's improving all these players. I think you need to we need to wait and see with some of them, because what's happened a lot at United, and even with, Fred and others, is they've had some good games and then we have a couple of games where you're like, what's going on here? And that's the worry I've got, is because we've had this spell, we're in this run of games which are all winnable games, and then I think it's in March when we get to like Atletico, City, Liverpool, is it, or whatever? Or there's a few where it's like it's a bit of a a mad month, and that's when we really need to step up.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging for those games, because like you said earlier as well, Jay, as much as we're saying Ralf played 10 games, the results in theory should probably be with us, and the momentum should have been with us of the opponents we played. That's what it should have been. But unfortunately, we haven't picked up the maximum points from all those games, where now it's going to be very difficult and very hard for us to try and finish within, like they say, the top 3 or the top 4. I'm very confident we will finish in top 4. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it.
Yeah, I mean,
on Monday.
Yeah, 100%. Top 4. It's got to be. Look, we've got a great squad. Finished second last year. We had 3 additions who are proper quality, as in Varane, Ronaldo, Sancho. And now we've got a good manager to manage that. And I think if we're disciplined, we can easily make top 4.
Mr. B, let me clear my throat.
we've got 4 days left, 3 days left in the transfer window. My opinion, if we don't sign the centre midfielder, we're not qualifying for top 4.
Wow. Jay, do you think we actually need to sign anyone, or do you think the squad is big enough to go and capture top 4?
In an ideal world, I'd want us to sign someone in this January transfer window. I don't think we will. I think the noises that all the main journalists are making, and I'm not ITK, I follow the main journalists like you lot, is that it doesn't look like anything's happening, and we're going to have to wait till the summer. I think United would rather go big in the summer for a Declan Rice or a Jude Bellingham or one of the main targets rather than bring in a Hadara or, you know, whoever now. So, who's the other kid? Is it the kid from Marseille? I forget his name. Sorry, forgive me.
Kamara.
Thank you. Yeah, Bubakar Kamara. Yeah, so someone like him or Hadara, they've been linked with us, or even Ruben Neves. I don't see that happening in the next 3 or 4 days. I just don't. I think it will be in the summer. In answer to your question, do I think we can get top 4? I think we can. I mean, we're in the top 4 now. I think, you know, I know other teams have got a game in hand, but as I said earlier, some of these players that have been a bit up and down in terms of form, we need them to start finding consistency. We need to see that week in, week out, because top 4 is there for the taking. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah,
Spurs have done okay under Conte, but I don't think they've become this sort of unbeatable machine where you go, oh, that's it now. They're going to take the other top 4 spot. I don't see that at all. Chelsea wavered massively. I think they've got their act together a little bit, especially that big win over Spurs. Arsenal are just being Arsenal as usual. They have a couple of good games. They follow it with a couple of bad ones. So it is there for the taking, but you've got to just get your consistency going. You know, OMONDI mentioned it earlier. This is a team that finished second last season and added 3 very, very good players. We should be in top 4. That should be a given. And if everyone in our squad played as well as we know they can do, we would be. But it's a big if.
Yeah. And again, there's a few of them. It's Kamara. We should be getting Kamara, Keze. What do you make of Keze as well, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, good player, decent player. I just feel like there's so many names linked with United at the minute. You think, okay, is that one going to happen? Is Kesse going to happen? Is it going to be Hadar? Is it going to be Neves? Is it going to be Rice? Is it going to be Bellingham? If the plan is to go big in the summer and we're going to go out and we're going to get like a player that comes straight into this first team, really changes the shape of the team and the look of the team and gets us challenging, then for me, the 2 names should be either Bellingham or Rice. And personally, if it was one out of the 2, I would personally go with Bellingham, but I'm not going to moan if we sign Declan Rice. My fear is we don't sign either of them.
Yeah. And I think we had a conversation earlier as well, because I know these guys, Mr. B and Rebel, they desperately want us to sign someone in the January transfer window. And as I said earlier, I cannot see it. I'd rather us wait until the summer to actually think and get the correct player rather than bringing the panic buy. Because right now, anything we do right now, for me, I don't know if I'm going to agree with me, would be sort of a panic buy.
Yeah, listen, the guy's come in. This is Ralf again. Ralph's come in to do a job. He's been told we need to get top 4, because at that point when he came in, we were struggling for form. We couldn't win. It was all our heads were down. He can do it with the squad he's got there. He said it himself. He's got a 29-man squad. He's even released players. So he's a coach. This is the thing people don't understand. He's a coach. It's not about you're playing this football manager game or something. You come in and say, right, I'm going to spend. He's going to work with what he's got. And that would just prove just how great he really is. Because he said, why do I need? I've got players here. I just need to work with them, get their mentals right, get their spirit right, get their physical right, and get them on side. And we can do this job. Like we're all saying here, we've got a great squad here. Let's work with them, improve, do what the manager's supposed to do, which is coach and develop the players to play to their maximum. And that's what you've got to get out of them. And if ones who aren't on board, they'll be on the bench. Simple as that. Yeah. We will do it.
It's like I said, it's a hard one because with Ralf, I'm not saying he should be the V manager, but I think there's a direction on players he's looking at the moment. And Jay, I don't know, again, I'm going to go to Jay. And with the players, I'm looking at the average ages is between sort of, 19 to like 23. That's the players, what's been reported that he's after. I don't know if it's sort of something he's building for himself or he knows what manager is going to come in for him then to pass the reign over and get these guys in.
Well, that's his MO though, isn't it, really? If you look at Ralf Rangnick, that's what he's done in the past. You know, he has bought the likes of Haaland and Upamecano and Naby Keita when they were young, when they were players who were just on the cusp of exploding, if you will. He's bought like these 20, 21, 22-year-olds and seen them blossom. So you can understand that those are the types of players he looks at, and those are the types of players that he's got a sort of a reputation for and the experience of of being able to get them just before they blow up. Difference is now he's at a club at Manchester United. He's never been at a club like as big as United before, where he's had that sort of ability, if he is here in the summer, or if he does have a say in the transfers, to go out and spend £100 million on a player. He's never had that before. Yeah. So he might be looking at players, you know, with that old mentality of, okay, Findon was just about to become, you know, amazing or whatever. And the board says to him, well, no, you don't have to do that. You can buy a player that you think is ready now for big money, because we're going to back you with big money. I just think the main question, and you sort of asked it there, is who is going to be the manager? Is Ralf Rangnick buying the player, or is he scouting players with a view to thinking, okay, Ten Hag or Pochettino's going to come in? Or is he just going, these are the players that will fit into this team no matter what? Or is he thinking, these are the players that I think will play for me next season and I'm giving the job? There's so many ifs and buts and maybes. I think there's certain players, though, you look at and you go, no matter which manager comes in, these players can do a job for him. And I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I say it for a reason. And I think two of those players are Bellingham and Rice. I think no matter which manager comes in, I don't think Ten Hag comes in and goes, what? Why are we looking at Declan Rice? Or why are we looking at Jude Bellingham? You know, I don't want these players. I think either, you know, he'd be happy to have either of those players because they're so talented. So there's certain ones that I think are a bit of a no-brainer. Others, like a Frank Kessie or an Amadou Hadara, might be a bit more. Are they for me? I'm not sure. You know, they're a bit more of a sort of a managerial decision where some managers might fancy him, some not. Because let's not forget the way Manchester United run our transfers is just crazy. We bought players under Jose when Jose was manager, and he didn't even want him. Remember Fred? When we bought Fred.
Whoa.
No, remember we bought Fred though. We bought Fred.
Whoa.
I remember, right? Let me just say this, right?
Whoa.
We bought Fred, right? We played Juventus, yeah? We lost at Old Trafford to Juventus. Jose didn't make a substitution, yeah? We lost 1-0. Fred was on the bench, right? Our new £50 million signing. After the game, Jose goes on the telly and he goes, I looked at my bench and there's no one there. That's a new signing that happened on your watch. What are you on about? So United are just stupid, man. There's no rhyme or reason to what we do. It's crazy. Do you know what I mean?
You set me up. Everyone in there now is hitting me with the Fred thing now.
I'm sorry, bro. It's not a criticism of Fred. It's just a fact in it. We bought a kid, and Jose didn't want him. So wow. It's you know, who knows? We might end up buying a player, and the manager comes in and goes, "Nah, do you know what? I just feel with the likes of Rice and Bellingham, you're looking at those types of players for a reason. I just think they're different gravy."
Yeah, and quick one before we end up here now. Van der Beek, obviously, we're not sure what's going on with this gentleman now. He's been linked now with Crystal Palace as well. Jay, you want to share any lights on that at all? Shed any light, should I say? Not share, shed.
I love the way you said, we're not sure what's going on with this gentleman. It's like it's giving some sort of police report. He was last spotted around the Shooters Hill area on the 4th of January. But if anyone has got any information, we urge you to come forward. So it's like some sort of crime watch update, this gentleman. I don't know what's happening with Van der Beek. It looked like he's going to go to Palace. I think this is it makes sense. I think Palace plays some good football, you know. I really do. It's easy to be disparaging of Paris and go at Palace and go, oh, bottom half of the table or whatever. You know, the long ball merchants. They're not. They've got some good players. They play some nice football. And I think a player like Van der Beek, if he's what we hope he is, or what some people think he is, he should fit into that system. So it makes a lot of sense. Your guess is as good as mine as to whether that'll happen, because, as I've just said earlier, just because things make sense doesn't mean they happen at Manchester United. But I just think a loan move makes, you know, it would work for him, because he's not getting the games, is he? He wasn't getting the games under Ole. He didn't get him under Carrick for that brief spell. He's not getting them under Ralf Rangnick. And I just think, like, yeah, just move the kid on, like, not permanently. I think it's a view to it's just a loan move, sorry, not a permanent move. I think they want him back. After the loan, there's not like you can with an option to buy. It's literally you go to the end of the season and you come back. But I think that works as well for United, because we can see at Palace, is he the player we hope he is? If he goes to Palace, does well, yeah, he is. If he goes to Palace and he gets a 10 games spell, you know, 10 consecutive games, which he's not had since he was at Ajax, and it doesn't really work out, then you might go, all right, maybe this kid isn't cut out for the Premier League. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
I think as well, when you look at all these players, I think it's World Cup as well. It's a lot of these guys who want to go on loan and stuff like it's all to do with the World Cup. And also another comment in here regarding the price as well. The prices, Mr. B, I'll take it back here. I was not wrong, but what I was saying to you about the prices of players earlier, it is a World Cup year and the price is going to go up. And Mr. B was saying we're better off probably signing a player now anyway. So I'll give you credit, Mr. B. But I still don't think we need to sign anyone in January. Monday, would you mind just going through one or two of these comments, please?
I was just going to say as well, if he does go Palace, I don't want it to be understudy to Conor Gallagher.
That's some people have said that, haven't they? Like, would them two fit in together? And would he? I don't know, you know. I imagine if he went there, he'd be picked, but that's not it's not an unfair question.
Eddie,
big up Eddie,
my boy. Big up Eddie.
Eddie's saying he's confident about the top four, team play on the ascension. Arsenal bad to Spurs, still average squad. West Ham, do me a favour. We done them the other day, didn't we?
Yep.
Let's go. Reggie says we need to buy Rice's mentality. Also, I think Rice has gone up in everyone's opinion, really. Even me. I
didn't value him at all. I didn't, but now I do.
His mentals are really good. He played well against us the other day. Box is saying, I've seen Arsenal's plus Spurs recently. They failed the eye test, mental test. We could get top four by default. So a lot of people confident here about the top four. Talk about Kamara. Is Kamara really that great? I know nothing about him. Yeah, it's true. It's true. We're Man United. Maybe we should be signing top players rather than development players. Eddie again says we've improved footy at United. Too, I think they will earn it as well. Talking about the top four, we will earn with our football under Ralf, which I believe is the main thing. And here we go. Saragon says Dortmund won't sell Haaland and Bellingham, not both of them.
At the same time. And I think Haaland done an interview the other day as well on Sky, didn't he? And he didn't really give too much away about where he's going. So, yeah. But guys...
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Guys, I love this one as well. Absolutely love this name. Absolutely love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Guys, if you're watching for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. If you have subscribed to the channel, just hit the like. And we roughly, I think, about 46 or 47 likes. Can we get it over to 50, please, or 55? And Jay, as always, sir, we will give you a opportunity to redeem yourself about this Fred slandering. Where can we find Jay?
I didn't slander Fred. I just stated some facts, like that he got subbed and that, we won the game. That's all I'm saying. And that you didn't celebrate. That's facts. You told me that. You messaged me and saying I ain't celebrating this goal. It was offside. Listen, I love coming on here. You know where to find me if you come over from Paddock. I've been collaborating with these guys for a little while now. We're going to get them on Paddock channel a little bit more. You'll have seen them Monday. You'll have seen Mr. Bean. You'll have seen Errol coming on the channel as well after some of the games, giving us fan reaction. So we're going to be doing some more collaborations as well. So make sure you are subscribing to this channel because it's always a good laugh. And these guys know the stuff as well. And that's why I love coming on here because, what more can you ask for? It's just a good laugh and some good knowledge as well. It's just what you want.
Thank you, Jay. And Mr. B, give Jay back that 50p.
You know what I love about that? I was saying that, and Mr. B was scowling at me like I was telling lies. I said, come on, I love coming on the
show. Tell you why, because Mr. B doesn't do match reports. He doesn't do the... He was like... Yeah, he does the fighting.
I was like, wow, I just said, like, they've got a lot of knowledge, and it's a good laugh, and he was like... like he was going to say, we haven't got a lot of knowledge. This guy...
I'm going to be honest, Jay, man. Listen, man, my stomach's rumbling.
His belly, yeah,
that's
my taking offense to that.
That's my hungry face, man. Apologies, man.
I was scared. I was like, you know what I mean? I thought I was being nice.
Apologies.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh,
quick one, guys. If you're watching, like I said, for the first time, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We're the Man United agenda. But Jay, we got one more thing to do with you. And we have a few shows coming up tomorrow night. And the first one we've got coming up tomorrow night is the quiz show itself. And for those of you guys who don't know, we do a quiz show called On the Spot. On the Spot, is Mr. OMONDI, who's a quiz master, and you go up against OMONDI. That's OMONDI right down there. So, at the moment, Jay, it seems like no one's coming near you with your score.
Well, it's close there. Kehinde, ever spelled that? I said that name wrong. Forgive me if I got that wrong. 1 point in it. One point in it. So, you know, it's just about a lead. It's not a solid lead. It's one that can be caught. And I think that you look at that and you think, come on, man, someone can come in there, knock me off top spot, and then I'll come back and try and retake it. So yeah, get involved.
Brilliant.
Before we go, because now we're talking about the quiz, I'll give you one of the questions now. Ahmad's going to Rangers. This is the connection between Man United and Rangers. What former Man United player ended up playing for Rangers and won a championship with them, the first of 9 in 1988?
Dinosaur was born then. Dinosaur was born then, Mr. B.
Yeah, in a postcard, please.
When are we supposed to answer that? Now.
So what former Man United player?
That's more what I was waiting for.
What former Man United player ended up playing for Rangers and won a championship with them, their first of their 9 in 1988?
Oh, someone's saying I don't think it was Olsen.
And he also had 70 odds, 84 England caps.
He had 84 England caps.
Yeah.
He went from United.
Oh.
He had 84 England caps.
With 84 England caps. Ended up at Rangers.
Oh yeah. He's got it. He's got it.
Yeah, someone's got it.
What was it?
Andrew Williams has got it.
Yeah. Mr. B said it as well.
Mr. B?
Is that Wilkins?
Yeah. Butch, yeah.
What was it? Yeah,
Nice.
see? I would have.
Nice.
Anyway, that's
Mr. B.
You see that, right? That's a great example of why you get involved in the quiz. I was sat here thinking Andrei Kanchelskis or something, and Mr. B got it. Andrew Williams got it. Get involved in that quiz and take me off that top spot. I'm a fraud. I don't even need to be near it. I didn't know the answer was Ray Wilkins. I'm a disgrace. How am I top of that leaderboard? Get involved in the quiz and get me off there. It's embarrassing to this channel that I'm top. I'm ashamed of myself.
And Pat's in Fred. Oh, absolutely brilliant, guys. From us, so we are back tomorrow at 8:30 for On the Spot quiz show. So make sure you tune in.
You're gonna be on time, you tomorrow.
I'll definitely be on time tomorrow. No
8:30.
excuses.
Set your alarm.
It's on now. It's on now. And we will be Mr. B with Talk will be on the show at 10 p.m. for Friday Night Takeaway. And it's a show again, guys, you all need to watch and see as well. But from myself, Solo, on Monday, Mr. B and Jay, from us, have a lovely evening and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.